life, the first thing I need to do is find who got my slipper. Okay, because Zavon, hey, child. I went live just to go live, beast mode. The number one thing I need to do, still Ray, is find my slipper out this kid's air. Oh, here you go. Child, let me tell you something. These dogs, that's how they showed me the joy. K-Rom Studios, Comedy Pickleball Showdown. Oh yeah, I'm out here about to, let me move this plant out the way so I can put this phone up against the fish tank and I could just be right here, plant, move over. You know, I'm real careful about my plants because, you know, they my kids too. So I don't want to make her feel like she's not important, but I appreciate you too, K-Rom. I appreciate you. Beast Mode, thank you so much for these delicious comments. Child, I have awakened the trolls. Okay, I put out that post responding to that black man that said we the word. And then I had to turn off the comment. Like, I had to make it so that you have to follow me to comment because I was just getting like black men all day long being like, yeah, y'all the word. Now, of course, you know, not all black men. I was getting some black men to be like, we love you, sis. You know, a black man just hit me in my DMs last night to be like, sis, you know, these brothers need to be healed and we just love you so much. But honey, the way that these black men have responded talking about we the word. Now keep in mind, all these black men, these are dark-skinned, like full-fledged black men. Like, so that means that there's no chance of you being mixed with nothing else. Like your mama, nappy head, your grandma, you know what I'm saying? Black too. Child, black men talking about their sister and their mama is the worst. And it really opened up a love in me. Like, it really opened up a valve in me for black men. Like now when I hit the streets, honey, I'm saying hello to every black male that's out there. Like, literally, I'm just like, because I understand that this is not to me. This is them being hurt by, you know, mama, whomever, black women. And I want to stand in the gap for the couple of seconds that I might be in the vicinity, you know. Now, of course, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm responding to the comments too, because you're not just going to come on my comments and attack me. But I'm just so happy to see the love on my live. Let me get this one thing out the way. Anyway, the whole purpose of me going to live, Tasha Mack, hey, Tasha Mack. The whole purpose of me going live today is because, honey, week 11, darling Nikki, I have been doing this book. Okay, it's supposed to take 12 weeks, but I think it took me 14 weeks to get through it because life be happening. But I am so proud of myself for committing. This book is called The Artist's Way. And hey, it's week 11. Week 11 is restoring your sense of autonomy. Autonomy is like when you doing something else. Like, you know, some people talk about they rowing their boat, they go out for a run. It's like when you get, you know, these ideas. Like, so you're not doing it to like work out, although you may benefit from, you know, working out, but it is when you're doing something else. And, you know, I've been on the journey of The Artist's Way. This book has been super life-changing. If you hadn't gotten it, I would suggest it. It's called The Artist's Way. It's by Julia Cameron. I would heavily suggest it. It has been life-changing in my confidence in the things that I do for myself, it is, it's really been life-changing because we are all artists. Like, sometimes people think that an artist is just the person that is performing on the stage. No, we're all artists, whether some people, it's as simple. Some people are artists for at cake making. Some people are lawyer artists. Some people. So this book is just about unblocking whatever that type of artist is in you, unblocking it. And I don't think of myself as blocked, but when I read this book, there's some things that I had to unblock in myself. And so that's what I've been on the journey to do, is to, first of all, finish the book, because, child, when something is a 12-week course and you feel like you get busy, you got life happening, it's easy to get to week 7 and then boom, you put the book down and never pick it back up. So I'm so proud of myself for finishing, because I'm actually on the last chapter, which is recovering my sense of faith. But this is about week 11, which is recovering the sense of, she calls it autonomy. And you know what autonomy is, really is before I get on stage, okay, I have to be moving, my legs be moving. If I'm sitting down in a chair, that set is not going to go well, because I'm not I really feel like my brain, and I think this is true for everybody, your brain is connected to your legs. When you're taking a walk, somehow you get ideas, you're in the shower, you standing up. But I feel like it's this hand motion, that the hand motion, the walk, the hand motion, the shower is the hand motion. You get ideas, driving, hand motion, washing dishes, hand motion, laundry, hand motion, and folding the clothes. So I feel like my lesson too is, it's not just getting the ideas. Mo Love, where you at? You said come through and say, hey, Mo Love, how are you doing? Moni Mo, how are you doing? Yes, honey. I feel like it's not, it's not just getting the ideas when you're, in the shower or driving or whatever. For me, it is, the Lord says quickening the spirit. So for me, it is doing it right away. That is what my week 11 was about. I wrote a film, so we're trying to get the film sold, and there's been all these new steps that I've had to do. Putting together a table read, never put together a table read before. Is somebody gonna show up? But as soon as the Lord say, okay, call this person, hit this production, email, I feel like that's what, when you get these ideas, I feel like you have to move on them quick. That's when you get the strength. I was saying, for me, I'm coming through to say, hey, Mo Love, thank you so much, honey. I am receiving all the love today, okay? All the love, honey. I am just in a state of receive it, because I have been giving it out, and I'm in a state of also giving it out and receiving it, okay? Because when I tell you, Mo Love, the black men on my post about this guy saying black women are the word, honey, they have awakened a new thing that I have seen, that black men need to heal. There are a lot of black men that need to heal. We all need to heal, but I feel like as women, we probably get over things a lot quicker. But honey, these black men are hurt, and I feel like I just was lifting these black men up in the in prayer, because honey, people are coming through to say that their own sister and mama is the word. That's what they coming on the post. I had to turn the comment. I had to make it so that you had to follow me in order to comment. And some people were still following me just to come and say something negative. That is how much that these black men are hurting, that you don't even have to follow. Who follows a person just to come and say something negative? But that is how much, honey, that is how much the pain is there. And, with me, I'm like, no, we need to stand in the gap for people. So now, Instagram, I don't need no effects. So anyway, for me, it's simply saying hello. It's simply providing the love. Like, it's loving myself enough to understand that these people are not talking to me directly. They are talking to all the people that have hurt them, but now lifting them like just up in prayer so much. So, that, I think my week, more than week 11 or whatever, my week has been about that. I have seen where we need to stand in the gap for these black men. And I've been praying hard for them to release that hurt. Because, honey, somebody did people something out here and they have not recovered from it. And it is sickening and it is sad. And, I think sometimes too, you be thinking about something like, I just want a black man. I don't want, I see my homegirls dating like white men. And after all those posts, now I'd be like, oh, okay, Lord, I do want a black man because I am black, but Lord, whomever you send that is going to treat me well. And now I see why those black women be like, oh no, whoever's going to treat me well, because honey, can you imagine? You can mess around and get somebody in your home that hates themselves. They hate you. They hate their mama. They hate, and they've been masking it. But now I'm like, but I do feel like my duty is to stand in the gap, providing the love, providing the, hey, how you doing? Hey, because I do see also too, when I walk around these neighborhoods, I do see like a little tension on some black men's face as I approach, it's almost like, just remembering the previous rejection or whatever. But I'll go ahead and speak first and be like, hey, how you doing? And they'll be like, oh, good morning. How are you? But before it was just like this, dun, 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 dun. That building up like, oh, what is she going to say? Maybe I got resting face and I don't know. I know I don't because I'm constantly with a smile, but honey, my perspective has changed. I have just been like, oh, no. Where can I provide the love at? Like, Father, give me all of the money, because there are organizations that I want to like contribute to. Like, there's one called Black Men Heal, which is like free therapy for black men. I want to contribute to those organizations. I want to contribute to like those because honey, there is a deficiency. And maybe some white woman will come on this post and tell me that all these white men was doing the same thing, but I ain't never seen it. I don't never see this, another race like having so much hate toward their own woman. So anyway, that's been heavy on my mind for the week. And I feel like my journey, going back to this book, my journey of bettering myself is knowing that, one, don't take it personal. Two, knowing to now start lifting people up in prayer, and that's what I've been doing. Like, literally just like, I sit sometimes at night and I just been like, like, Father, I just pray for them. I just pray for their healing. I just pray, Lord, I just pray that they can release the hurt. I pray that they can forgive their own parents, because honey, we're not giving we're giving the parents that we need for our journey. I think about my father right now. I can't say he was always in my life, but we weren't close talking, calling me. We wasn't having no in-depth conversations, And now in my older years, we do have in-depth conversation. And I just realized that, like, the Father uses my father like a preacher. Like, he literally will call with a message from me just a revelation in his own life, and it will be like a sermon, Do I sit back and see and be like, okay, all these years, I was this and I was that, and you was on drugs and you wasn't? No, honey, people forget that their parents are parents. They're are people. They forget that their parents were going through something. You know what I'm saying? My father was on drugs. Honey, all the years that I was out and 16, they was going through their own thing, But I feel like we have to remember that about our mother and our father, is that they've gone through some things, and we were casualties of their war, So whatever thing that they may have gone through may have trickled on over to us, so we felt like we didn't have the love, or we didn't have the. But it's just time to look at them and decide that they did the best that they can, and that. Really, when you believe in God, like myself, I believe in God through his son, Jesus Christ, the Father is your father and your mother, We have our earthly parents, but we have our Father that is consistently taking care of us, that is shielding us from things, even when our parents might have let us down, our Father has never let us down. He's been always using things to develop us and to grow us. And I feel like I wish more people would realize that. And of course, it takes a while to get to, that revelation of your, of not taking what you've expected from your parents, not taking that personal, they didn't have it. I know me, sometimes I want to connect with my mother more. I see people doing TikToks with their mama, and I'm like, I wish I'm not, of course, comparison, my word, is the thief of joy, because I don't even be doing TikToks like that. But I do see my homegirl with her mama on TikTok, and I be wishing we could have that close relationship. But I have to think about my mother, her mother, and her parents, and she did not have that close relationship. So what she can give me is she's probably giving me every single thing she knows how to give me. Do I wish my mother called me more? Yeah, I wish she called me more. I'm the child. I'm the only child. Somehow, I always wind up having to call her. And guess what? I'm going to say I did the right thing. That's what I'm going to say. When the Lord tasks me with something, because sometimes, I don't know about y'all, I don't know how old y'all are, but you see, I got the gray hair popping, honey. It's I'm at the age where it's time to parent your parents. If you want to hear from them, call them. Okay? That's it. ain't no, don't nobody check on me. Ain't none of that. Call them. Don't expect too much. You want to hear them say you love them? Say it to them. Because that's where I've had to get to. And I feel like, and it's still a journey. It's still a place where I've got to constantly go back to. I'm over here. Sometimes I've been over here and I've been sick in the bed. Ain't nobody calling to check. My mother don't even know I was in the hospital because she ain't called to check on. But guess what? I'm going to just call you and I'm going to just fill you in. That's it. Instagram. Child, Instagram. I got my Instagram set up to a 5 limit so that I don't be scrolling all day long. So it reminds me, but it reminded me at the wrong time. But anyway, I feel like that's what I wish for all of those men on the post. Because certainly that anger, it's out of needing to forgive someone, needing to tell someone they love, and that's what a lot of people need to try too. Is sometimes you want to hear somebody tell you they love you. But the cure sometimes is just go ahead and telling that person you love them. It's we only have one life, and anger has no part in it, and it's a very human thing. Anger is a very human thing, but the what the Bible does, it teaches us how to constantly forgive and get over that. And sometimes I gotta forgive a person every time I think about them. I gotta be like, you know what? I'm letting all that go. I'm letting all that go. Like, especially if you're a big dreamer. You know, you can't have, well, you can have it. I mean, you know, you can have whatever you want to have. But the thing about it too is, you know, biblically, it does say in Mark 11:23 through 26 is, you know, whatever a man says and doesn't doubt in his heart, he will have whatever he says. And then right after that, it says, and if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you. And I feel like those two things go hand in hand, you know, with your dreams that you want and being able to forgive. Because I feel like forgiveness just sits right here, you know, just unforgiveness sits right here. And the minute you forgive, it just removes this, it removes that block, and then you're able to receive, because I feel like your capacity to receive is blocked when you have the unforgiveness, you know. So that's my week 11. You know, thank y'all so much for joining in. That is my week 11. I know I was talking about autonomy, but I really should have just stuck with that being on my heart, which is we need to pray for black men. Black women, yes, but, you know, we'll get to them in another post. I really have, you know, I have just been lifting up all week. All week I've been lifting black men. I've been thinking about the men on this post. Even I just got a comment from this guy on one of my posts. Like, you know, and I'm gonna have to lift this brother up in prayer. People are out here going through it and they don't have nobody to run to. And so they run to the internet and they become a troll. But they are a human being and they need people to pray for them. They need someone that is lifting it up, that's standing in the gap, that's asking the Lord to shine down and to send them someone that surrounds them with that love, because we all need it. So, okay, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming on to the live, and God bless you and happy Sunday.